Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, we have an update on a big road construction project here in Lincoln.
Plus, as Hispanic Heritage Month kicks off today, we feature a mariachi band and how it's more than just music.
But first, a warning about a new cannabis product. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. The FDA and CDC are ringing the warning bell.
It's about Delta 8, but an owner and doctor say it's all about having trusted and vetted sources. Channel 8's Jael Pembroke has our top story and more details for you. It's new at 5. Jael?
Delta 8 THC is unregulated, but a legal cousin to marijuana. Officials are split on if it's safe to use. The CDC and FDA recently released warnings against the use of Delta 8 THC, with reports of people having adverse effects like vomiting and going to emergency rooms. Some of the reports were unintentional using of the substance, and some included children under the age of 18. Delta 8 is like a cousin to marijuana. It gives users a similar but more mild high. At Centerpoint, Topher Hansen says they are seeing the new drug in some of their cases and do not recommend it as a replacement for a drug addiction.
We're seeing a lot more people who are using it. And some people then are questioning, well, if I'm having a problem with marijuana, will Delta 8 be something I can use and have it be more safe? And we're not recommending that.
At CBD Remedies, they say if Delta 8 was regulated or banned, people would try other ways of getting the drug or turn to more dangerous options.
It would be absolutely devastating if there was a crackdown or a prohibition on this important minor cannabinoids.
The owner says Delta 8 is rising in the black market, and people should avoid any Delta 8 products like brownies, gummies, or jelly beans, and especially any others without proper packaging.
Packaging and labeling is a big deal. Also, the efficiency and efficacy of the products being made and sold is a big deal, to make sure that this gummy has the same amount as the next gummy and the next container and the next container of gummies.
He adds they vet their products with companies and their in-house chemist and doctor. That doctor says she was not surprised by the warning and is glad there is one. Dr. Holmes says it does not change her stance on the drug, as it is a legal way to help people who need the cannabis product. Hansen says until there is more information about the drug, he remains neutral, but wants people to be safe about what they intake.
And all we can say is you really need to be understanding of the risks by buying it in places that don't have any quality control on them and a substance that we don't know a lot about. And so we try and offer that advice.
Again, Hansen says Delta 8 should not be used as a replacement for marijuana addiction. And Dr. Holmes says consult a doctor if the drug is right for you.
Jael Pembroke, thank you very much for our top story tonight. And other news now, if you've driven on West A Street here in Lincoln in the last year, you're probably familiar with the roundabout construction project.
Drivers will need to use caution in that area as the flow of traffic is going to change tonight. Here's what you need to know.
We're getting ready to switch the traffic. The traffic that's on the existing pavement is going to be transferred over to this new pavement in a head-to-head manner later today, and we'll work on finishing the roundabout then through the rest of the fall.
In other words, the flow of traffic is going to change from the lanes east of the roundabout to west of the roundabout. So when will the roundabout project be completed?
We're working real hard to try to get it finished up. I know there's been a lot of delays on this project. We just appreciate their patience as we work to get this finished up, and know that we're going to, in the end, give them a great product here.
Yeah, city officials cite material supply shortages and issues with private utilities not being relocated properly as reasons for the delays. The roundabout, again, is expected to be complete in November. U.S. Senator Ben Sasse spoke on the Senate floor honoring Nebraska hero Corporal Dagan Page.
Page gave his life defending Americans and our Afghan allies at the Kabul airport back on August 26th.
Corporal Page is one of 13 heroes who gave his life that day defending the Kabul airport in the midst of that chaotic evacuation. The American people owe these men and women a debt of gratitude that we will never be able to repay. Corporal Page lost his life while honoring our nation's promise that we would leave no one behind. He and his fellow Marines never wavered They didn't fail in executing their duty. They were given an impossible mission, and these men and women fought to the end.
Sass said heroes like Corporal Page didn't fail us, and we can't forget them. We must keep our promise to honor his family, teach our families about their sacrifice, and to strive to live lives of gratitude.
Now, if you plan on going to Corporal Dagan Page's visitation, it's tomorrow from 5 to 8 at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Omaha. His funeral is Friday at the same church, and that begins at noon. Officials really want to stress that seating is going to be very limited. It's going to be, of course, for friends and family first. Page will be buried at the Omaha National Cemetery.
Let's head on over to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Malcolm Byron is in for John. Malcolm, it was a beautiful, cool morning. I had the windows open. Loved it.
Right, we actually got down to 49 degrees in Lincoln. That's what clear sky can do for you sometimes. We got to 50 degrees in Grand Island. Still a comfortable day, a couple of degrees warmer than yesterday. High temperatures in the mid-80s for many. Compared to this time 24 hours ago, 9 degrees warmer in Lincoln, so we're on the warm uptick. So over the last several days, some days have been cool, and then the next day will be warm. The next day will then be cool. The next day will be warm. Today breaks that cycle as we will continue the warming trend going into tomorrow. Right now we're at 85 in Lincoln, most locations in the 80s. We're at 84 in Beatrice. 81 in Hastings, 82 in Kearney, 85 the current temperature in Grand Island. Now it is still a comfortable day in the eastern part of the state, but the humidity is starting to rise, mainly out farther west. Dew points are in the low to mid 60s out towards the Tri-Cities, and there's a little bit more cloud cover out there as a result, just some fair weather cumulus clouds out there, but mostly clear in the eastern part of the state as we lack the moisture. But with the dew point in the upper 50s, conditions are real comfortable. Unfortunately, winds have returned out of the south, and that humidity is going to go right back up starting tomorrow. It's not hard to see why we are a couple of degrees warmer. We have plenty of sunshine, not too much cloud cover in the sky across southeast Nebraska. Looking from above, most of the cloud cover is off towards the west, and even then it is starting to fizzle out. Forecast over the next several hours, ignore that partly cloudy icon. Temperature is going to be mostly clear, eventually dropping in towards the 70s as we head towards this evening. Overnight, eventually dropping into the 60s once again.
All right, thank you very much, Malcolm. We'll talk to you soon. Today marks the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, a time to reflect on Latin American influences and celebrate Hispanic culture.
A popular Omaha mariachi band shows that it's more than just music.
Es como una música que identifica a México, el mariachi.
For Rogelio Orozco, mariachi isn't just music. It's the pillar that represents Mexican culture, connecting him with other proud Mexican Americans in the community.
Una vez que te pones el traje, se siente el cambio. Sientes el gusto de hacerlo. Sí.
Mariachi has a rich history that goes back centuries, evolving with every generation that embraces its musical roots. But through its evolution, one thing has remained the same: its power to unite people from all walks of life.
El mariachi en general es una música que llega a todo el mundo. En cualquier parte del mundo que vayas, hay un mariachi.
Orozco is one of the founders of Mariachi Los Andariegos.
Pero nosotros desde que comenzamos no hemos dejado de tocar. Semana por semana hemos estado tocando.
Los Andariegos' journey began 13 years ago, and the band has since become a pillar in the community.
Conocemos tantísima gente ya aquí a los alrededores que cuando escuchas mariachi Los Andariegos ya saben quiénes somos. Porque nosotros salimos a los restaurantes a ofrecer nuestra música.
Orozco says being a musician in the band doesn't feel like a job, not even a hobby. Instead, it's what gives him a sense of purpose.
El compartir lo que sabes hacer y te gusta hacer y compartirlo con la comunidad es algo que no tiene precio.
And that passion evident through every song request and guitar stroke. As he reflects on Hispanic Heritage Month, Orozco says he can't help but feel a sense of pride as a musician that represents his Mexican roots.
Lo que nosotros damos es algo que a veces como que no lo puedes explicar, porque cuando tú estás tocando en un cumpleaños ves cómo la gente se alegra y agarra el ambiente y tú te llenas de ese ambiente de las personas. Andariegos por siempre, los andariegos de Omaha.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. And staying with music and entertainment, the Lead Center is approaching its second performance of the season. It's called Step Africa's Drum Folk.
It goes back to the 1700s, origins of a number of different dance forms.
Drum folk helps to tie in all of those dots and really opens people's eyes up to how stepping came about, tapping, hand boning, the ring shout, which are a lot of different traditional African American styles formed here in America after we were stripped from our drums.
Yeah, what he's talking about is when slave owners took drums away from their slaves to stop communication. They then turned their bodies into their new drums. Years later, that turned into what you can see at the Lead Center this Friday. Tickets are on sale, and they've also got a live streaming option so you can enjoy it from home. Still to come on the news tonight, victims of disgraced U.S. gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar spoke in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
We're going to tell you more about what happened after the break. Stay with us.
No one has ever reinvented mattresses.
Today, 4 victims of former disgraced U.S. gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar shared their stories with the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Senators are currently investigating the FBI's mishandling of the case. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze has the latest details.
During emotional Senate testimony, a remarkable display of strength and bravery by some of the world's top gymnasts.
Being here today is taking everything I have. My main concern is I hope I have the energy even to just walk out of here.
Allie Raisman, Simone Biles, Michaela Maroney, and Maggie Nichols told senators in painful detail how they were sexually abused by former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. And they blasted the FBI for failing to stop the abuse.
To be clear, I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse.
The hearing comes in response to a July report by the Justice Department Inspector General. It found FBI agents failed to respond with the urgency required once they learned about the sexual abuse allegations against Nassar in 2015. And then agents tried to cover up their mistakes.
They chose to lie about what I said and protect a serial child molester.
Nassar was sentenced to up to 175 years in prison in 2018 for molesting hundreds of gymnasts. But the survivors say they're still waiting for justice.
I am tired of waiting for people to do the right thing because my abuse was enough and we deserve justice.
FBI Director Christopher Wray, who was not in charge of the agency during the investigation, said he's heartsick and furious.
I'm especially sorry that there were people at the FBI who had their own chance to stop this monster back in 2015.
The FBI says one of the agents critical to the Nassar investigation was fired, but Simone Biles says agents should be prosecuted. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Well, no more clouds over the eastern part of the state. Lots of sunshine today. A couple of clouds, but I wouldn't call this partly cloudy skies. I'd call this mostly clear. In fact, in many spots, we'd had full sunshine today. Here's a live look over Honda of Lincoln, showing the clear skies over Lincoln. But there is a little bit of cloud cover off towards the west. Not producing any rainfall. These are just some fair weather cumulus clouds. There's a little bit more moisture out there. That's why they're able to form out west as we get the heating of the day. We get these turbulent mixing eddies that will form, and they'll form these fair weather cumulus clouds out west. Now, looping over the last several hours out in the central part of the state, you notice this batch of low-level clouds out over Custer County. It took a little bit of time for Custer County to warm up this afternoon. Stuck in the 70s for most of the day. Now, temperatures have since rebounded in Custer County, but the clouds kept them low for most of the day. But right now, you're at 83 degrees, so you were able to get into the low 80s, but most locations able to get into the mid 80s fairly quickly this afternoon. Right now, we're at 85 in Lincoln, 84 in Hebron, even McCook and Ogallala out at 90 degrees. The air is a little bit drier out there, so it's a little bit easier to warm up to the 90-degree mark in those locations. You can see that dew points are in the 50s out in McCook and Ogallala, and you see dew points in the 60s elsewhere in the central part of the state. This is that general region where we saw the fair weather cumulus clouds form, but out closer to Lincoln, we see dew points in the 50s, so not too much cloud cover out this way. What you might notice is that winds are back out of the south today, which is going to continue to allow moisture to funnel into the area. I think the humidity will be back in full force tomorrow. So for tonight, 64 degrees, clear skies, and the humidity will be rising as a result of winds back out of the south. And then will be rather breezy tomorrow. It'll be humid once again. South wind perhaps gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour at times. And I think you'll also notice it's going to be a bit warmer as well. Sunny skies, 91 degrees. So many locations should get into the low 90s for temperatures tomorrow. Now, part of the reason why we're getting so warm is we have plenty of sunshine. Stormcast not throwing any cloud cover, while I won't rule out maybe a fair weather cumulus cloud or two. Most of us are going to be mostly sunny tomorrow. Then we're going to look off towards the west late Thursday night and into Friday. See this cold front developing some showers in the northwest corner of the state Thursday night. Now notice for the most of the day on Thursday, we are dry in central and southeastern Nebraska. We have to wait till Friday morning before this cold front starts to approach. See some storms firing Friday morning out towards the Tri-Cities. At this particular point in time, this model not showing any rain in Lincoln, but this front will continue to approach throughout the morning hours. Won't rule out an isolated shower Friday morning as we go in towards Friday afternoon. Still seeing the potential for some storms. As things stand right now, it doesn't look like these storms will be on the strong side, but if we can get some storms to develop in the afternoon and evening, we may see one or two be on the strong side. This particular run of Stormcast showing some storms developing in the evening, and I think it's possible if we can get enough heating on Friday. So as far as rainfall potential is concerned, one model showing close to an inch, other closer to a quarter inch. I think the general baseline is a quarter to a half inch of rain, but I think higher amounts in thunderstorms, perhaps approaching an inch, maybe even exceeding that if we can get some training of these thunderstorms. Now over in towards towards the weekend, it's not going to cool down. It's going to get warmer. 88 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday, because we got lots of sunshine in the weekend, and it's going to be a humid 88 and 91 degrees for the weekend. Heading in towards the beginning of next week, mostly clear skies on Monday, 89 degrees. Another wave will approach sometime on Tuesday. That should drop temperatures into the upper 70s. Astronomical fall starts on Wednesday, and look, it's feeling like fall next week. We got temperatures in the 70s all next week. Another disturbance perhaps approaching by the end of next week.
All right, thank you, Malcolm. Now to California, where ABC News is projecting Governor Gavin Newsom will be keeping his title as governor after an effort to recall him.
Newsom's biggest rival, conservative radio host Larry Elder, conceded this morning.
My opponent, Governor Gavin Newsom, come on, let's be gracious. Let's be gracious in defeat. And by the way, we may have lost the battle, but we are going to win the war.
Just days before the election, Elder launched a, quote, Stop California Fraud website, claiming he had lost to voter fraud before a single vote had been counted. Newsom warning Elder and other Republicans of the fragility of democracy.
Democracy is not a football. You don't throw it around. We may have defeated Trump, but Trumpism is not dead in this country.
This recall election is on track to be one of the most expensive to date, with the Secretary of State saying California has already spent close to $300 million.
A great day on Wall Street today. The Dow jumping 237 points. NASDAQ was up 124. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight, after the powerful testimonies,
Finally tonight, it may all be a bunch of hocus pocus, or it could be the new set for Hocus Pocus 2.
That's right. Excitement is brewing in Rhode Island as the movie setup is being put up. Crews are transforming the Chase Farm Park into a 1600s era movie set. The original movie, of course, was shot more than 28 years ago, one of my favorite Halloween movies. Hocus Pocus 2 stars, of course, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and Bette Midler.
Now, filming is likely to start the first week of October, and if the Sanderson sisters can wait 300 years for a virgin to light the black candle, then we can wait until the movie's Disney Plus debut in 2022. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did it sound like I knew what I was talking about when I read that?
Yeah, very confident.
I haven't seen the movie.
I know.
My producer, Kayla, she wrote that, and so I obviously trust her. And
you know what Malcolm told me? He's never seen it either.
Wow.
I know it's a very popular spooky season movie, so I think you and Malcolm should have a little movie night together, get some popcorn. You got to watch Hocus Pocus. You have to watch it before the second one comes out.
Buddy, you bring the root beer, I'll bring the popcorn, okay?
Sleepover?
Sleepover. Sleeping bags.
So cute.
You know, I saw lots of commercials for it growing up, but never actually seen the Halloween Town was my go-to Halloween movie.
I like that one too. I like that one, and it's starting to feel a little more like fall, temperature-wise.
Yeah, at least today. Tomorrow, it's going to start to feel more summer-like. At least for the rest of this evening, sunny skies, feeling a little bit fall-like. But as we go in towards tomorrow, it's looking like temperatures are going to rise into the 90s once again. Maybe cooling off a little bit Friday as a cold front approaches, but feeling summer-like once again as we go in towards the weekend. We'll start to feel like fall by the astronomical start of fall by next week.
All right, thank you, Malcolm, and thank you all for joining us.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We're up before the sun, so we can make breakfast for our friends and family. Hot off the griddle, fresh as can be, at Amigos.
Closed captioning